Good morning, people. It's Tony from Camp K9 here. We're on a lovely walk this morning with the doggies. Just thought we'd talk a little bit about recall and keeping your dog with you, more to the point, when you are on a walk. So how many times have you heard someone across a field calling and calling and calling and calling and calling their dog, and the dog isn't listening at all? And then maybe you sneak round the corner and there's a dog sniffing away at a blade of grass and not in the slightest interested in returning to its owner, because it can hear its owner perfectly well, knows exactly where the owner is, so knows that he hasn't lost his owner. Meanwhile, the owner is frantically calling the dog, absolutely oblivious to where it is and what it's doing, and worried sick. None of us want to be that owner. Not only does it put us under a lot of stress and worry, but also it makes us look a bit of a twit. So, if you've called your dog once, twice, if you're calling your dog a third time and it isn't coming, it's not going to come. The chances are it's in its own world, it's doing its own thing, and it knows exactly where you are, because it can hear a whisper in a field, let alone a shout, full belt, across or down a pathway. So, as part of your walking with your canine training goes, as well as learning recall, teaching your dog recall, you learning how to teach your dog recall, and you practicing recall with your dog, try practicing walking in silence as well. Although you are ultimately responsible for your dog, put the onus on the dog a little to keep an eye on you. Let them be a little concerned if you walk on a little way without them and they suddenly go, oh, where are they gone? Let them have a bit of responsibility for keeping an eye on you and where you're going. If you get to a crossroads or a T-junction at a path and the dog goes to go one way, go the other way. Don't say anything, just make the move. And then just keep half an eye on your pup to see how long it takes them to realise that you have gone a different direction. And when you practice that on a regular basis, you will see that that time it takes for your pup to realise that you have gone in a different direction gets shorter and shorter and shorter, until the point where your pup is keeping a close eye and ear on where you are on your walk. And that way your pup can have a bit of fun in the bushes and know exactly where you are at all times and not leave you, because they don't want to lose you at the end of the day. But know your dog as well. Know your breed. Know what stimulates your dog to run, to chase, and be aware of your environment. But ultimately, it's about having fun, not keeping them right at your ankle the whole way through the walk. It's about you watching them live their lives. It's about you being inspired by how much fun and enjoyment can be taken by just taking a wander through the fields, through the woods, and finding the odd secret pool of delight.